Hello everyone and welcome to the Well of Curiosity. This will be the first in what I hope will be a long line of episodes dedicated to exploring the different parts of our planet. In this first episode of Exploring Earth, we are going to be paying special attention to ecosystems and biomes, taking a look at the key terminology and some prime examples that can be found on our planet. Let's begin. So, let us start with what the word ecosystem actually means. An ecosystem is a geographic area where plants, animals, and other organisms, as well as weather and landscape, work together to form a bubble of life. Ecosystems contain biotic, or living parts, as well as abiotic, or non-living parts. Biotic factors include things like plants, animals, and other organisms, whereas abiotic factors include things like rocks, temperature, and humidity. Every factor in an ecosystem depends on every other factor, either directly or indirectly. For instance, a change in the temperature of an ecosystem will often affect what plants will grow there. Animals that depend on those plants for food and shelter will then have to adapt to the changes, move to another ecosystem, or perish. Ecosystems can be very large or very small. Tide pools, the ponds left by the ocean as the tide goes out, are complete tiny ecosystems. Tide pools contain seaweed, which uses photosynthesis to create food. Herbivores such as sea snails will eat the seaweed, and carnivores such as starfish will eat those sea snails along with other animals in the tide pool such as clams or mussels. Tide pools depend on the changing level of ocean water. Some organisms, such as seaweed, thrive in an aquatic environment when the tide is in and the pool is full. Other organisms, such as hermit crabs, cannot live underwater and depend on the shallow pools left by low tides. In this way, the biotic parts of the ecosystem depend directly on the abiotic parts. The whole surface of the Earth is an enormous series of connected ecosystems, and ecosystems are often connected in a larger biome, which brings us on to our second key word. A biome is a large area characterised by its vegetation, soil, climate and wildlife. There are 5 major types of biome: aquatic, grassland, forest, desert and tundra. Although some of these biomes can be further divided into more specific categories, such as freshwater, marine, savanna, tropical rainforest, temperate forest and boreal forest. Aquatic biomes include both freshwater and marine biomes. Freshwater biomes are bodies of water surrounded by land, such as ponds, rivers and lakes, that have a salt content of less than 1%. Marine biomes cover close to 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Marine biomes include the ocean and coral reefs, which are things that we will look at in later videos. Grasslands are open regions that are dominated by grass, as the name would suggest, and have a warm, dry climate. There are 2 different types of grasslands: tropical grasslands, sometimes called savannas, and temperate grasslands. Savannas are found closer to the equator and can have a few scattered trees. They cover almost half of the continent of Africa, as well as areas of Australia, India, and South America. Temperate grasslands are found further away from the equator, in South Africa, Hungary, Argentina, Uruguay, North America, and Russia. They do not have any trees or shrubs and receive less rainfall than savannas. Forests are dominated by trees and cover around 1/3 of the Earth's land surface. Forests contain much of the world's terrestrial biodiversity, including insects, birds and mammals. The 3 major forest biomes are temperate forests, tropical forests and boreal forests. These forest types occur at different latitudes and therefore experience different climatic conditions. Tropical forests are warm, humid and found close to the equator. Temperate forests are found at higher latitudes and experience all 4 seasons. Boreal forests are found at even higher latitudes and have the coldest and driest climate, where precipitation occurs primarily in the form of snow. Deserts are dry areas that receive less than 50 centimetres of rainfall per year. They cover around 20% of Earth's land surface. Deserts can either be hot or cold, although most of them are found in subtropical areas. Because of their extreme conditions, there is not as much biodiversity found in deserts as in other biomes. Any vegetation and wildlife living in a desert must have special adaptations for surviving in a dry environment. Deserts can fall into 4 categories according to their geographic location or climatic conditions: hot and dry, semi-arid, coastal and cold. A tundra has extremely inhospitable conditions, with the lowest measured temperatures of any of the 5 major biomes, with average yearly temperatures ranging from -34 to 12 degrees Celsius. They also have a low amount of precipitation, just 15 to 25 centimetres per year, as well as poor quality soil nutrients and short summers. The tundra does not have much biodiversity, and vegetation is simple, mainly consisting of shrubs, grasses, mosses and lichens. This is partly due to a frozen layer underneath the soil surface, called permafrost. There are 2 types of tundra, Arctic and Alpine. The Arctic tundra is found north of boreal forests, and the Alpine tundra is found on mountains where the altitude is too high for trees to survive. Any wildlife inhabiting the tundra must be adapted to its extreme conditions in order to survive. So that concludes today's episode of Exploring Earth. If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like. If you really enjoyed it, then subscribe to the channel for more. Hopefully you will join me in the next episode where we look at the wonderful world of waterfalls. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.